Hey there, jambalaya. It's me, Natty Bumpercar, and I am so beyond excited. Today is it's sunny, whatever that means, whatever for the day that means. But who cares? Let's get right into it. So much going on. Where have I been? Don't worry about it. Am I here? I'm here. I'm recording 2 episodes today. One for you, and then one for something called Radio Free Montclair. And I don't know, maybe that one will end up in the feed as well. Who knows? I don't know how these things work. In theory, we were going to be recording an episode of Pig and Pals with the kids and all the different characters from that show, but it hasn't happened. But that's okay. You know, we're looking at
Natty, are you okay? What just happened to you? Your word cut off, and then you did a bit of coughing. You're not sick or nothing, are you?
No, I just had something in my I haven't been speaking or talking as much as I was before for some reason, and so I'm trying to get used to talking again, which is strange. It's a strange thing to try to get used to, but I can hear my voice is all loop-de-loo.
No, did you just say that it was loop-de-loo? Because I feel like we have set a precedent in the last 5,000 episodes of this here podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Rufus T. Rufus, the lawyer around here.
Yeah.
Whoa. Now, what is going on with me?
Rufus, are you okay? Now you're coughing. First I was coughing, now you're coughing. Producer sounded fine, but I don't. Hey, Aloysius, can you get over here for a second? I want to test something out. I want to see what's going on.
What's going on, Bumpercar? How you doing? It's me, Aloysius J. Pig, hanging out with you as I always do. You know, something.
Yeah.
Something.
Something.
Peanut Lou. I'm working on a rhyme. You know.
Yeah, you need to work harder. You sound fine too. I was coughing, and then Rufus was coughing. Producer sounded fine, and you sound fine. Anyway, hi everybody. Well, I'm glad you guys are all here. We can talk about some fun stuff.
Can you just get to it though? Because you're 32 minutes in, and we got limited time here, so you can't I record the podcast. It's a weekly podcast. I don't put it out for a month, and then when I do, I eat up all the time, bibbling and babbling.
Am I bibbling and babbling?
My friend, you're basically the king of bibbling and babbling at this point. I'm gonna start calling you Brooke because you babble so much. Can anybody think of a joke with bibble? I can't, but babble, I was like a babbling Brooke, but bibbling, I don't know, but you're bibbling and babbling.
Bibble?
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah, I can't think of bibble either. Is bibble an actual word?
I don't think so.
Bibbling and babbling.
Bibble.
I've heard that.
No, bibble's not a word.
Bibble. No, and I don't think it's a word. Anyway, Bumpercar, go.
Well, here's the story I'm going to tell you today. This is a few weeks ago at this point, but I was in a big store, giant store, and I was in an aisle. It was 8:15 in the morning, and I had to get 2 gallons of paint. So big 2 cans of paint, not the little ones. It's weird. So you can get a pint of paint, which is tiny. You can get a quart of paint, which is a little bit bigger. And then you can get a gallon, or you can get a 5 gallon. 5 gallons is too big. But I was getting 2 gallon cans. And they were just above my head. And I had gone to the paint desk before. Hey, where's this specific kind of paint? Because I was painting ceilings and roofs. Because we're still working on the barn. But it's coming along so well. The walls are in. The electric is in. Everything has been painted. There's just now some touch-up that needs to happen. It's so exciting. But I had to get this paint. And so I pulled 1 gallon of paint off the shelf. And then I put it down next to me. And then as I went to grab another gallon of paint, the craziest thing happened. I got it off, and then out of nowhere, a 3rd gallon. This is number 3, which I did not want. I did not ask for, but it just flipped off the shelf. It fell off the shelf. And missed my face by mere inches. But it did luckily land and hit my leg and hit my foot and explode everywhere. Now, when a gallon of paint explodes, it's serious business. And all over the shoes, all over the pants, a little bit on the sweatshirt.
Oh, boy.
And I was standing there, and
Natty, I don't know if you should continue with this podcast. You might not want to say anything else because we might have a case here, a court case, maybe a libel case, maybe a attorney at law, something that I could handle for you.
No, well, just hold on. Hear the whole story first, because I think it's to me it was kind of funny-ish, I guess, funny, light. So I was standing there and I went, oh no. And I looked down the aisle and there was a worker, and I said, hi, help, this thing has happened. And he was very scowled, and he said, go to the paint department. And I was like, okay, go to the paint department. So I walked a few feet over to the paint department, where the gentleman who had helped me find the paint, I can't do it. The paint was, and I said, I am so sorry. And then that's when he looked up at me and he went, oh, come on. And he just turned and walked away. I don't know where he went. I never saw that guy again. Oh, come on. And so I'm standing there covered in paint, and I didn't know what to do. I was just like, what? I'm covered in paint. So I walked up to the front, and there was a nice woman there, a cashier. She was working at the registers. And she was the first one. She was actually kind of human with the whole situation. And she said, oh, no, what happened to you? And I was just like, can of paint, fell, hit, explode. And she was like, oh. And she ran and she got some paper towels, and she got some a trash can for me. And so I'm cleaning up as best I can. But when you're covered in paint, there's not a lot of cleaning up you can do. So, and I'm throwing stuff away, and I'm trying to wipe the floor because I had gotten paint everywhere. And she said, oh, baby, you don't have to do that. Don't worry about the floor. And I said, okay. And so I finished wiping up my shoes and pants and jacket, everything. And then I still had to finish shopping. And so I went over and I got the stuff that I had gotten previous to getting the paint. And there was still no one there. The pool of paint was still there, and it was expanding. It was getting bigger, and so I was just like, all right. I don't know what to do. So
Natty,
went around the store, and I just kind of finished my shop. And
so I guess it's not really important to the story, but were you getting other stuff, or was it because you said you had other stuff? Or was it just these? Did you have like a shopping cart, or were you just kind of lugging everything around? Like, because I know you do that sometimes. You like to go into stores and you're like, I'm going to get 1 or 2 things. And you end up getting 15 things, and you still try to carry them without a basket, without a cart, without a nothing. And so, I just was wondering.
Yeah, so I did not have a basket or a cart. I think I'd gotten like 4 small things and then the 2 gallons of paint, so it would have been 6 things. But so nothing too big. I mean, the paint cans were the biggest, heaviest things. So no, I didn't have any of that stuff. But I did. So I went around the store, and I kind of went down and all the way around like a little loop, because you can kind of get to all the different places from the loop that goes around the interior of the store. And it took me over to, like, they have I guess kind of like not a management desk, but like a desk with people, professional people. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry, this thing happened. And I recounted the story. And there were 2 or 3 guys there, and they looked over at me and they went, yeah, okay. Like that. That was their reaction to the gentleman, that's me, covered in paint right in front of their desk. Okay. Like, that was it. That was all. That was it. And I went, okay. And so I went to leave. And I even said that, there's a big puddle of paint there. It's a danger. But I forgot, like, so when I had already cleaned myself off and I went over to grab my stuff, there was an older gentleman who was about to go down the aisle. And I said, whoa. You're going to want to watch out for that big puddle of paint. It's going to get you. And he said, oh, thank you so much, young boy. And he gave me a penny candy, which I really appreciate it, because I do love penny candy. So I ended up, I bought my stuff. I took a couple of extra bags, and went out to the parking lot, put my stuff in the car, and then I had to take off my pants, my shoes, and my sweatshirt and put them into the bags, the extra bags, so that I didn't get paint all over my car. It was I guess it could have been a humbling experience, but I didn't care. I didn't care that I was standing there in my boxer shorts and my t-shirt. I was so disgruntled by the entire thing.
I don't blame you. I would have been beside myself with anger at the whole thing. I think.
Yes, it was very frustrating, but whatever. I got home, I put all the stuff away, and I was telling my wife about it, and she was just like, "What if it would have hit your head? Would they have cared then?" And I was like, "I don't know." So I did what any fine, upstanding person does in this digital age. I went on Twitter and I tweeted a little joke about it, but then I tweeted directly to the company, "Hey, here's this thing that happened. Here's a picture of everything," and nothing. Got no response. And I was like, "Wow, all right." So then the next day when I called the customer service number. I was just like, this just seems weird that no one cared about this situation. And the woman was wonderful that I spoke to, and she kept calling me baby. She's like, oh baby, I'm so sorry. And I was just like, yeah, that's fun. And she sent it to somebody, and then within 30 minutes, somebody from the store called me. And get this, when I was telling him about it, he's like, yeah, we had to clean up all the paint. And I was like, yeah, well, I didn't know what to do. And he's like, yeah, the guys yesterday, they said the guy that did this, he just ran out of the store. And I was like, that's not true at all. I was there for another 15 minutes. I talked to several employees. And he was like, this is unacceptable, but he's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I just, my clothes are ruined, but whatever. It's kind of frustrating, but And I thought that was it. I thought we were done. But then I got this call from some random their insurance company, and they were like, "Oh, you have to go through the whole story." So I went through the whole story again. I've gotten very good at telling this story at this point, and the moon was in the east in the sky, and the clouds, precipitation, whatever. And so I told him the whole story, and he's like, "Well, what can we do to make this better?" And I was like, "I'd love new shoes and pants. Those are in sweatshirt." And we tried to figure out how much they were. And they were like, oh, the system says it's worth $100. And I was like, ow, that's what we call adding insult to injury. That hurts. Why?
The Bumper Podcast is an oftentimes hilarious weekly romp with Natty Bumpercar and some of his pals. It is family-friendly, clean, and ridiculous. Thanks a bundle for listening. If you love our show and you'd like to help support the podcast, check out our Patreon page at https://www.patreon.com/Natty Bumpercar. Also, pretty please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Share it with everyone everywhere, post about it on all of the social medias, or leave a rating and review. The Bumper Podcast is produced at headquarters in Coffee Can Alley. It's recorded, mixed, and produced by producer. The Bumper Podcast features contributions from Aloysius J. Pig, Rufus T. Rufus, Doodle Poodle, Robot, Trunks, and a gaggle of other silly rascals. Our head talker is probably Natty Bumpercar. We also have an absurd newsletter. Check it out and subscribe at nattybumpercar.com/subscribe. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Natty Bumpercar. Hugs and hearts. See you soon.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.